I'm Daniel.
And I'm Ryan.
And this is In a Nutshell Podcast. Hello, and we're back for episode 16 of In a Nutshell Podcast.
Woo-hoo! Where we break down all shows, movies, and all the news that come with them. How are we feeling today?
Man, guys, we're sorry, but we've been so damn busy. It's been like a couple weeks since we actually have posted in a while, man.
It's been a long time, but we've been busy. But at least we're back.
We're back. And we've done a lot of stuff. We're going to talk about it later, but our short film Tempted aired just a couple of weeks ago. We actually got that done, and now we're still in production for Ryan's short film. I'm DP. He's director of What Remains of Us. We're going to talk about that a little more at the end of the show. But since we've been gone for a little while, what some new stuff have you watched?
I actually sat down and watched both Miles Morales Spider-Man movies.
Jesus.
I know. It's about time.
It's about time you watch those damn movies, bro. Oh, my God.
Hey,
you know how long I've been trying to get this kid to watch these movies? It's insane.
You know I'm not a big superhero guy, but I got to say I really did like them. And although I do have one thing, which I know I talked to you about that, and you said it could have been like a pun or making fun of the original. How can a spider get on your hand, bite you, and you're like, okay.
That's so real.
That could hurt.
That is.
If I see a spider on me, I'm across the world. That
is so real. And yeah, I mean, it's about time he watches shows. And I have been recently watching the two newest movies I watched in theaters was 28 Years of the Bone Temple. That was really good. And I recently just watched Goat, the Sony animated movie.
Oh my God.
It was around the same style. It was actually very good. And I'm almost done watching The Shape of Water with Guillermo del Toro. That's also really good. But
oh, really?
Yeah, it's actually interesting. I'm almost done with it. It's about it's based off the Creatures of the Black Lagoon. So a couple shout outs. Johan is our engineer today from Podcast Junkie Studios, owned by Ben Castro here in Boca Raton, Florida.
What's up?
And let's not waste too much time. Let's get into this show. All right, so let's get into it. So superhero news. So since we've been gone for a little while, there's a lot of crap that has been going on with stuff. First, we're going to talk about Spider-Man.
Okay. Spider-Man is actually one of my favorite superheroes. So,
he is good.
So
he is good.
I'll be interesting on what the crap is.
Do you ever mainly with the Tom Holland one. There's another one that's really good, which we're going to watch in a second. But did you know Stan Lee kind of created the comic?
Yeah.
But it was obviously he created the comic.
Yeah.
But the way he did it was I want a superhero that has spiders. But he's also a teenager, but they said that was stupid for calling him Spider-Man, that I should have called him Spider Kid or something like that.
What?
Because it was a teenager or something. I don't know, something weird.
No.
But
Spider Kid, no.
Imagine.
Spider-Man would not do that.
Imagine if it was Spider Kid. Imagine, bro. So, now since he's been watching Spider-Man, and a Spider-Man trailer has been coming up that we've all been very anticipated for.
Really?
And I think I watched the trailer already, but you're gonna love it. I think you're gonna like it a lot. This is Spider Noir. Remember? Oh, since you watched it, Spider Noir. You know the black and white character?
Oh, bro, he was awesome.
Amazon's making a show.
I'm glad they didn't pull some crap they make the little piggy Spider-Man a show. That would be the stupidest.
That would have been.
That would have been the most dumb idea I've ever heard in my life. But I'm actually glad they focused on him because he was one of the cooler characters.
So, do you know who voices that character?
No. Nicolas Cage.
Nicolas Cage.
Yeah.
And he's going to be acting in it. So we're going to be taking a look at this trailer.
Let's try it out.
Tell me why.
That's straight Oppenheimer vibes.
You already know how it ends.
Literally.
Well, then start from the beginning.
Ooh.
Ticks. Thoughts. Impulses. I manage to suppress them. Most of the time.
What's going on, Ben?
Oh, I saw Sandman.
Wait. What the hell happened to him?
I beat up some guys in a bar. And I got plastered.
Ah. I like this character.
Never seen Spider-Man drink.
That is very real, actually.
What are you thinking about over there?
Bit of an existential crisis, if I'm honest.
Oh! Love that show.
Ooh.
That looks amazing.
Whoa.
Yeah, but you can't watch that in color. You have to watch it in black and white. That's what it
for
was
sure.
made for. Because I'm pretty sure they filmed it in black and white, then they color corrected later, so it's going to look a little off anyways. You know what I mean?
No, I think they would actually film it in color and then just put the grayscale over it.
Yeah, but filmmakers are very like, oh, it looks better if you film in black and white instead of doing it in post.
I mean, I do agree because it helps the lighting, but oh my god, if they color correct that after,
it's going to look a little, it looks a little.
that's gonna look.
Did you notice it looks a little strange? Like it looks a little yellow. I wonder if
I
they messed
really
it up a
can't,
little bit.
but it may be a cool like style.
It is a cool style, but you have to watch that in black and white.
Oh no, of course, but maybe just seeing like a few clips in the colored.
No,
might
literally,
be really cool.
Yeah, it will look. It would. Well, my thing is, if the show is good enough, it's gonna be black and white, and then I'm gonna watch it in color because why not? You know. But let's talk about a couple things.
Mm-hmm.
There's some villains in there that I've never seen before. I'm not gonna lie to you, like the fire guy.
Yeah,
The fire. I also saw in
that
one
was a
of
really
the-
cool shot.
That was a really cool shot. But I
Yeah.
also saw in one of the shots there was this like really white creature.
Yeah.
I don't know what that is. The only thing I think of is maybe Mr. Negative, which in the comics, from what I've heard, he's a pretty interesting villain. And
You know what's his motives? Do you know?
no idea. I'm not that deep into comics, to be honest with you. And then obviously I saw Flint Marko, which I don't think it might be Flint Marko. Here's the thing. Amazon's making this. There's some rights issues. So he's not going to be called, guys, listen. So he's not going to be called Peter Parker. He's called Ben Reilly because of copyright issues. So they don't call him,
nah.
you can't call him Spider-Man. That's why they call him, like, that's why it's called Spider Noir and stuff like that. Like, they're not going to be calling him Spider-Man in the show. You know what I mean? It's a rights
That's
issue.
interesting.
But that's why, I mean, Amazon.
I mean, it makes sense with the rights, but I wonder what they're going to do about that. Because now it's like all the close friends of Spider-Man say Peter Parker, and then the normal audience says Spider-Man.
But okay, so what do you think they're gonna call him if they're not gonna call him Spider-Man? What the hell are they gonna call him? The Spider? Spider Guy?
Spider Kid.
Imagine. But it looks really, really good. What do you think? Because he's not. Because if you guys know anything, Ryan's not too big into not Spider-Man, but not
Just superheroes in general.
superheroes. You know. So
That looks really cool. Although I haven't seen a Nicolas Cage movie in a long time. Like, where did he go?
bro, when was the last time I saw Nicolas Cage in anything? I'm not gonna lie to
He
you.
like disappeared off the face of this earth and like came back.
The last movie I saw Nicolas Cage in was like the National Treasure.
Oh, sidetrack. I watched The Da Vinci Code. If you guys ever heard of it, it's a great book, great movie with Tom Hanks, right? For the longest time, this guy was convinced that the Da Vinci Code I watched was the National Treasure movie. And the Da Vinci Code's great. National Treasure. Those movies are terrible.
Bro, I thought that the Da Vinci Code was the movie where they stole the Declaration of Independence.
What's next? Night at the Museum?
Bro, look, that's just what I thought, bro. Don't get on me too much. By the way, that movie, National Treasure, is horrendous. I don't like that movie.
Terrible. I don't think
But-
horrendous can even fit the word.
But since we're speaking of Spider-Man, let's get into Spider-Man Brand New Day. Going to the studio today, he did not know that there was a Tom Holland Spider-Man movie coming out, right? I told you that there's a new Spider-Man. You're like, when's that coming out? And I was like, it's coming out in July. And you're like, they announced that?
a Tom Holland one?
Yeah, they're a new one. Tom Holland one. A new Tom Holland one.
I thought you said the Miles Morales was coming out
No.
in July.
Bro.
That's
You know
why
how
I'm
long-
like, you're just so nonchalant about that.
No,
'Cause
no,
I,
no.
I know that's what you've been talking about forever now.
No, it's good. The moment they make a new Miles Morales movie, I'll be a freaking millionaire.
That's what.
Okay? Like, let's not.
That's
let's
why
not
I'm
even-
like, because I know you've been talking about it, but then you just say, oh yeah, they're making in July.
Yeah.
What?
So, yeah, they are making a new Tom Holland movie. Why does nobody know this?
That part I didn't know.
Why does nobody know this? Because they haven't done any marketing
That
for
is
it
true.
yet.
I've seen nothing about it. Wait, it's February.
It's coming out in July. Tell me why Supergirl
got
has a
4
trailer already. Supergirl's coming out after Spider-Man.
It's that concussion.
Maybe it wasn't. Maybe they were a little behind.
A little.
Bro, they finished filming like last year, like in the middle of last year, and they're trying to release it in July.
That's gonna be one crappy edit job.
I really hope that it's not bad.
Or do you think they're gonna play on the fact that everyone already knows Superman, everyone already knows Tom Holland. We don't really need that. We don't really need to do that much marketing because
Okay. Shout out to Val from Broward College. He's a good friend of ours. We love Val. Val, if you're watching this, he literally told me this the other day. He goes, you know why you haven't seen any marketing of it? And I'm like, why? He goes, everybody knows Spider-Man. The moment you see Spider-Man, you're gonna go watch it anyways because it's Spider-Man. So they don't need to do any marketing. They're gonna drop the trailer like a month before the movie.
Exactly.
And it's gonna be like Spider-Man.
And
you know,
the trailer will get
it.
95 million views, the minimum.
Exactly. Like even people that haven't watched.
Do you think it has anything to do with the last show being that they forgot who Spider-Man was? You think they have anything to do with that?
What do you mean?
Then they're just losing money.
I mean, they're losing money, but like, do you think that they're playing on that? Because in the last movie, everyone forgot who Spider-Man was.
About that.
They did.
I don't know. Do you think that could be a marketing tool that they're doing?
Maybe.
I just a thought. Just a thought.
I mean, no. I can see where you're coming from. I just think that's kind of a stupid approach, because then now you're just missing out on that much more money to go watch it in theaters, because of they want to try and follow. That's like the same thing I say about Marvel. If I don't watch the 8 shows and the 4 movies, then I don't know what this movie's about.
So you're saying like the marketing tactic is people forget about Spider-Man, and then all of a sudden they like. I mean, that could be something. I mean, look, I've seen some atrocious marketing tactics for movies.
I mean, think about it though.
Ben's got a point.
The only reason why we know about the Spider-Man movie is through like TikToks and people like
talking about it,
like outside the set, just for getting footage of him swinging back and forth.
Exactly. I don't know.
Interesting. You got me thinking.
Yeah, that's a stupid tactic, but I could see Disney doing something stupid like that. I really could.
That's a hot.
I really could, because I mean, I've seen some atrocious marketing before. You know, like the Kevin James thing. Have you been seeing like
no.
Hi guys, I am such and such on TikTok. People think it was like an actual, like he acted like he was a teacher on TikTok, but everyone like swore it was Kevin James. You know, Kevin James, the mall cop guy.
Yeah.
So everyone was like, oh, but he kept acting like he was a teacher, like at a school, but he was just promoting his movie on Amazon. But it was so weird. It was so weird. But let's get. Yeah, I saw that, and he was promoting another movie. Yeah, literally. Yeah, he sat at the Super Bowl by himself promoting his movie. Literally.
That's so stupid.
So, no, I'm good. And you want to get into the next little bit of superhero news here?
Avengers Doomsday trailers, X-Men, Steve Rogers, Thor, and Wakanda meets Fantastic Four in teasers.
Oh my God, bro. I had to make a video on this, and this took forever to edit, bro. There's like 4 different teaser trailers came out. By the way, a whole year before the movie comes out. The movie comes out in December. You know,
better than Spider-Man.
Let me ask you this, right? All of these people have multiple movies, right? The X-Men have 1,000 movies from God only knows when. Captain America has 1,000 movies. Remember how he left in Endgame? He became old. You know?
Yeah, isn't he back now all young and whatnot?
Yeah, that's what it was in the trailer. He's back with a kid.
We saw an Avatar.
Yeah, exactly. We saw it in Avatar. All these things, right? They didn't explain what the Fantastic Four ship was doing at the end of Thunderbolts. They just went into Fantastic Four and just made the Fantastic Four movie, which was really good, by the way.
That was a really good movie.
Did you watch the recent Wakanda movie that came out?
No, I heard it was terrible.
It wasn't a very good movie.
Yeah, that Wakanda Forever?
Didn't you watch it with us?
Well, the Wakanda Forever?
Yeah.
No, I've never watched it.
You didn't watch it with me, Jet?
No.
No? Okay. Well, the movie.
No. Like I actually put on the first 5 minutes, and then I checked like the IMDb score and Letterboxd score, and it was like completely terrible. So I'm like, why am I wasting my time with this?
Well, literally, low key, it wasn't a very good movie.
Low key.
No offense to Ryan Coogler, because I love Ryan Coogler. He's a great.
There we go. Someone got it. Someone got it.
but I didn't really care for the movie. But there's a lot going on.
I think for that movie, he kind of like did the best he could because his main actor did die. So they wrote the script thinking that Chadwick Boseman was gonna live on, but he had to do, you know.
Yeah, that's true. I agree with that, but you know, still the movie was a little bit of a snooze fest. But yeah, Avengers Doomsday. There's so much crap going on. How are they going to do the story? No idea. There's so much stuff that I think the movie's just going to be bad. I don't know.
Want to know? Yeah, and then now, wait a minute. So Steve Rogers became all old at the end of
Endgame.
Endgame, yeah. Endgame. Now he's back to his young self.
With a kid.
Robert Downey Jr. died, but then now he's back
as Doom. You know how? Yeah.
You know what this is? They want money. Because want to know why? They're losing money.
Yeah, I mean, if they make someone else Dr. Doom, it's not going to be as hitful as Robert Downey Jr. is, because everyone's like, oh my God, what's good? But you know how much they have to explain about the freaking multiverse just to explain what the movie's about? Bro, an hour and a half of the movie's going to be like, what the multiverse is happening. Bro, don't even get me started. Anyways, let's get into some DC news. A lot of rumors for the Batman Part 2. Cast rumors, supposedly Sebastian Stan, the one that plays Bucky, is going to be playing Harvey Two-Face Dent in the Batman Part 2. I think that's amazing. I think it's going to be really good.
Ooh.
That's going to be really good. Brad Pitt supposedly went for the role, or they went up to Brad Pitt for the role.
Oh,
but he said no.
Brad Pitt said no?
He said no. I think he said no.
Really? Because
Yeah.
I really do like Brad Pitt.
He would have been a cool Two-Face, I think.
Yeah.
He would have been a cool Two-Face, but, Brad Pitt costs a lot of money. I think he costs a little bit more than Sebastian Stan. I think
just,
he does.
Just a little bit.
A little bit too much in that budget. But, that's going to be really cool. Scarlett Johansson is casted as I think Harvey Dent's wife.
Interesting.
Or something. So I don't know which comic it is. I'm starting to get into the comics, but I don't know where this is going to go into it. Anyway, Supergirl is coming out in July, as we said. Jason Momoa is going to be in it, but he's playing a really...
Whenever I see... Sorry, right? I think of Jason Momoa. I think of the Amber Heard trial of him on the screen. He's like...
Look, I mean, he was a cool Aquaman. I mean, he looked cool with the tats and everything.
Oh, he fit the description perfectly.
I mean, the Aquaman movies weren't very good, but... Yeah, I mean, he's playing a really cool character. I've never heard this character before, but I've seen the pictures. His name is Lobo. And it's a guy that rides a motorcycle with a cigar in his mouth. He looks badass. I can't even lie.
Yeah, that's Jason Momoa.
Yeah, he looks badass.
I can think it's just some biker guy with long hair. Yeah, that's Momoa.
He looks badass. So we're gonna get into this next little thing here. Since we've been a little late on stuff, we're gonna get into this next thing here.
Out of all the movies that are going to be coming out this year, what movies are you most excited for?
The Odyssey. I am. I just am. And now, we're gonna. I'm not gonna talk about that movie yet. We're gonna get to that later. But the Odyssey, I'm definitely excited for. Definitely excited. I'm actually excited for Mortal Kombat. Also, I'm excited for Mortal Kombat. Mortal Kombat, I think is gonna be a cool movie. What about you?
For me, we're gonna talk about this, but Hail Mary.
Oh,
Project Hail Mary. My friend.
Amaze.
Amaze.
Okay, so we're gonna get into this. What is your most anticipated movies? Pick 3 and just give me a quick guess of the box office.
Okay. In order or?
Doesn't matter.
Okay. Well, then I'm gonna go in order of box office. Then I think The Odyssey with 1.5 billion.
I can see that.
Hail Mary 800 million.
Okay.
No, 650.
Okay, I think
650 million.
Yeah.
And then Tom Holland. Actually, you know what? Let's reverse that. Let's go Tom Holland Spider-Man at 850. And then let's go Hail Mary at 650.
Okay, interesting that you said Tom Holland 850. The last Tom Holland movie made over $1 billion.
Really?
No Way Home made a lot of money. Well, that's because they also had Tobey Maguire, Andrew Garfield as the original Spider-Man.
I'm also taking into consideration that there's no marketing for it right now whatsoever.
Exactly. So I think 800 because Marvel is dead a little bit. I think 800 million. I agree with you. So Odyssey, I agree. I think the Odyssey is gonna make maybe 1.2 billion because Oppenheimer made $900 million. It almost made $1 billion, I think. Mm-hmm. So, and that was like a documentary.
Yeah, not everyone likes to see those docu-series types of movies.
Which I am attempting to read the Odyssey, but the book is a very famous book. So I think a lot of people are going to go watch it just because they've read the book. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? So I put at 1.2 million. I will put Spider-Man at maybe 800 million. I agree with that. 800 million for Spider-Man. I don't think a lot of people are too excited for Spider-Man, besides me, of course. But
I see no one talking about it though.
Yeah, no one's talking about it because nothing's come out. Nothing's come out about it. But Avengers Doomsday, I have it at over $1 billion.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Just because it's Avengers and everyone's going to go watch it. I say maybe 1.3 billion. That's going to make Marvel a lot of money. Yeah. So we're going to talk about this real quick because we didn't get to talk about this since it came out. You can start it off.
Do you believe in conformity gate?
Oh, bro. Don't sit there and look at me like you didn't text me going, bro, this might actually happen. Don't sit there and act like you didn't text me like, oh, this actually might be real. There's
Guys,
a lot of things
I was a believer, and I'm still a believer.
Okay, buddy. Okay, bud.
No, you had to admit, the first 4 seasons, great. The 5th season, granted, they were writing the script as they were shooting.
Oh my God, bro.
There were so many continuity issues to the point where it felt fake.
It did. Granted,
it could still be Vecna's curse, and we're all living in Vecna's curse. They just won't admit it. Voice crack. But there was so much evidence going towards it where at first I'm like, oh, this is crap. Like, what is this? To the point where I was like, whoa.
Yeah. No, you can tell that they kind of were rushing in this. Like, they were like writing it. Like, when they said that they were writing it as they were shooting it, it looks like it.
That's low-key a bold thing to say in the BTS as well.
Well, I'm pretty sure the studio went, yeah, you know what? Keep that in there, because why not? You guys want to be like that? Then whatever. But I personally didn't like part 2 of Stranger Things, or volume 2 of Stranger Things. I didn't think it was as good as I would have hoped. I was expecting people to die. I was expecting Hopper to die, Steve to die. I was expecting some big, grand plot twist ending.
Well, the Duffers did come out before and say that there aren't going to be any big deaths. Which, I mean, I'm happy because I love all the characters, but at the same time...
So boring.
Yeah.
That's so boring,
I feel like
bro.
someone should have gone.
Oh, and look, I hated 11. I did not like 11.
Bro, the amount of times he'll text me after finishing an episode and going, I can't stand her.
No, she's so... Battery. Such a stupid character.
Pretend this is Gatorade, right? This is the whole movie. Battery.
Yeah, product placement. It's like
product placement. They got paid.
It's like Michael Bay using his cars in his movies. But anyways,
I mean, I really did like it. I think more so the fact because I grew up with it since middle school.
That's true.
And I mean, I know when that last very scene. Spoilers, by the way, if you haven't watched it. When they're all in the basement playing D&D again. I mean, I got really emotional.
That was a little touching.
Just because I've been connected with these characters. I've watched the show 4 times already since middle school. So, I mean, but I can see where you couldn't come from.
I don't know. I just wasn't. It was so lackluster to me. I don't know.
It was so built up for over 13 years just for it to.
It was so lame.
I killed Vecna.
It was so lame. I don't know. It was Superman jumped into the mind flare.
It was a Gatorade,
right? By the way, guys. No Demogorgons, no Demodogs, no nothing chased her, by the way. No, she just went like freaking Mario and jumped into the mind flare, you know? And then I guess this was the first idea anybody had since the past like 16 years the show has been up or whatever, right? That they finally thought it was a great idea to impale Vecna. Like now you guys want to try and stab Vecna? Like, come on, bro.
You've only had 13 years to do it.
And then look, out of all the characters that I don't care about, you kill off 11. Oh my god, I'm so annoyed of that.
Actually,
wow.
You know what? I'm actually going to steal your hot take. Do you think 11 is alive?
Okay, here's the tricky part, right? They claim that he's a writer. And supposedly during the D&D game, he claims that she is alive. But how would he know that? Now, here's why I believe it is true. Because they had the kryptonite, I think that's what they called it, right? The stupid noise. Like the stupid noise where she couldn't do her stupid powers. How else was she able to get into his mind without having the bath thingy? Because that's the only way she was able to get into that void is to be in like a bath thingy. You know what I mean? But she was standing up in the upside down.
So her nose wasn't bleeding as well.
Wasn't bleeding as well. So she might be alive. But I just can't stand her like sister thing, like that. Like out of all the people to keep her alive, it was this whatever.
Although there is one thing though, I know we're going extremely off topic, but when what's her sister, Callie? When you see her sister die on the floor, eyes closed and all, or eyes open, whatever it is, not moving. The next thing you know, she has enough strength to push herself up against the wall to go do her final power.
Yeah, look, guys, you can't give a twist of we don't know what's going on without giving more foreshadowing and hints because. Telling us something like that is so confusing because we don't know what to think, right? And then you did a show that had nothing to do about that, and then you're going to sit there and tell us, oh, she might be alive. Really? How? You know? But anyways, we're going to get into the last little bit of the episode today. We're going to talk about shows. We've been watching a lot of shows. Fallout Season 2 was amazing. He's catching up on Fallout.
I'm halfway done.
The ending is insane.
Really?
Very bittersweet, but Episode 7 really shows you who ended the world, and it's not who you think it was.
Interesting.
Because when Robert House shows up and he talks to Cooper, he meant what he said, and it was true what he sasaid. So when you get to the interaction where Cooper is talking to Robert House at the party, let's pay attention because it's going to mean something in Episode 7.
I mean, so far I'm only on Episode 4, and I'm loving it already.
Yeah,
I mean, the first season was amazing. The second season so far, it's been great.
Still don't really care about Maximus's character and the whole Brotherhood. They did something really weird with the Brotherhood, which I won't get into because he hasn't watched it. But anyways, you want to get into our next little show topic here?
Welcome to Derry, Season 2. Actually...
Derry?
I know, I misspelled that, but I thought I was just going to go with it, but I guess not. Welcome to Derry, Season 2. Actually, I'm going to add to this. Season 2 and Season 3. Well, Season 2 is in the works. Season 3 has been confirmed.
Yes, it has. I've been hearing about it, which as it should. I mean, Season 1 was great.
That was such a success for them.
Yeah.
It was so good.
Aren't they saying that there's going to be a haunted house of Halloween Horror Nights of It?
A rumor.
A rumor. And we heard that Sinners. Oh, that's going to be
Sinners.
amazing. That's going to be amazing. And Peaky Blinders, Netflix is coming out with a movie for Thomas Shelby. You know Cillian Murphy played that gangster? They're coming out with a movie about that guy.
I had to watch that show. I heard it's really good.
It's really good. It's it is a little long. It's like 5 seasons.
Okay.
But it's a great show. They're coming out with a movie about Thomas Shelby. Now, I'm seeing a lot of Nazi stuff in the trailer. If you guys watch the trailer, there's a lot of stuff having to do with Nazis. So it's going to be something about World War II, I think. Interesting. Really cool.
All right. His and Hers. I finished it. It's a limited time series Netflix on. It's a limited time series on Netflix. Wow.
Yeah, he was texting me like, "Oh, this show's amazing."
Wow. If any of you guys have watched it, if not, it's a murder mystery. But every 30 minutes, your suspicion on who you think did the murder completely changes 180 degrees. And there's I think 4 or 5 episodes, each maybe 45 minutes long. But I swear to God, my decisions changed at least 13 times on who I thought what the murder was.
Really?
And then the ending is you think it's one person, but then nope, false ending.
That's
crazy.
That sounds like a fun show. Speaking of fun shows, I did watch the first episode of The Last of Us. That was insane.
Oh, me too.
Yeah, that was insane.
Awesome.
So I've been slacking. But anyway,
I have to finish that.
He refused to watch this show. I think people who are in film should watch the show. Yes, it's a little bit of a Marvel, Disney, property, whatever. But Wonder Man was an amazing show. Had nothing to do with superheroes.
I have so much stuff to catch up on.
Had nothing to do with superheroes. Had everything to do about this guy trying to be an actor in Hollywood.
Okay, fine. I'll watch it.
But he has superpowers. But people in that world aren't allowed to be superheroes. Okay, superheroes aren't allowed to be in movies because it's dangerous. And you see that in one of the episodes. Really cool show. I suggest you guys watch it. But Ryan's going to get into our stupid news.
Stupid news, my favorite segment. Kong in the new Godzilla movie will have a full body exoskeleton suit.
Bro, just stop making these movies.
Why are we still making this?
You guys won't give me a budget for a freaking short film of $2,000, but you're going to give a budget to a stupid Godzilla supernova where Godzilla's going to be in space.
Wasn't the last one terrible?
The last one was just a big battle, bro. The last one was just them fighting. There was no substance to it. All the Godzilla movies aren't very good, in my opinion.
The Godzilla -1.
Okay, well, -1.
Oh, yeah,
-1 was really good, but that wasn't an American-made Godzilla. That's a Japanese filmmaker. True. Very good.
That was a very good movie.
But it whatever. So next little bit, Tom Cruise, this was a while ago, but I'm going to report on it anyway. Tom Cruise was spotted on a set for the new Star Wars movie, Starfighter.
I love Tom Cruise.
Tom Cruise is a good actor. Never would I thought he'd join the Star Wars side, though. Because he's not like an actor that would be in Marvel or DC or the big companies.
He's more like a realistic action type guy.
He's an action guy. He's not in big companies like that.
No, but I'm saying action guy he's jumping between buildings, fighting evil Russians or something like that. Not flying a TIE fighter in space.
Yeah, I mean, Tom Cruise is one of those like Brad Pitt. You never see Brad Pitt in a Marvel movie. Well, actually, he was in Deadpool for 2 seconds. But you won't see those kind of guys in Marvel or DC or Disney or Universal, in those kind of big movies that everybody knows, franchises.
Yeah.
But Star Wars, very interesting.
Interesting. Last one, new season of Euphoria.
Ugh.
Yay.
Ugh. Ugh. Yeah, look at Ben's face. Ugh. Trust me, the last thing I wanted was a Euphoria new season. Yeah.
I can't wait to see that.
It's literally
every episode someone gets it and they you see everything.
Literally, bro. Literally.
Everything.
It's just drugs and cracking. That's literally all it is.
That's all it is.
It's literally all it is. So, we're going to get into a fuck segment today. So, yes, we did air our short film Tempted a couple weeks ago on February 1st. You can watch it on our Nutshell Films channel. And, yeah, it is on our channel, Nutshell Films, and it aired in February 1st. It is going on a festival run. So, hopefully,
fingers crossed.
In March, we will get results. So hopefully it got accepted into the film festivals. So at least we're there.
We haven't gotten disqualified yet.
Hey, look, at least we're there, right? We didn't get disqualified because I think Soul got one of the film festivals. Soul, our movie Soul. I think it didn't get accepted for some reason. Something was wrong with the film.
Really?
Yeah, I think so.
I didn't know that.
For you guys and for Ben and for Johan and Eric and everybody who's watching, we get to watch the film.
You want money? You want power? This is how it starts.
don't even think to look in the case, Vic. I promise it'll be the last thing you do.
I hear you, Marlon.
Good.
Feel asleep.
What the fuck are you doing?
Hey, man, I was just looking at,
You got a lot of balls looking in that fucking case. Frank, what the fuck's going on? Charles, this punk-ass kid snooping through the case.
It's just a case, man. Chill out. It's just a case, man. Come on.
Greedy prick, you're trying to steal my shit.
Hey, man, I was just trying.
Fuck, you're guilty. Why'd you open the case?
I was just fucking curious, that's all.
Take a seat.
Damn.
You know I should kill you, right? Why are you so quiet?
It's kind of hard to think with a gun pointed to my head.
Fair enough.
Where'd you get it?
That's none of your business.
Well, since I'm already here, maybe I could help. Get a piece of the action.
Oh, I knew you were gonna say some stupid shit like that. Really? You want to get in on this?
Yeah. I saw what was in that case, and I want to be a part of it.
And I should actually really fucking kill you. You can't even say hello to Marla for one fucking day. And I can't have Marla on my ass. And why would I have you on my crew? First fucking job, you can't even do that right. This is fucking hilarious. Where does Marla get these little bitches from, huh?
Charles, what the fuck?
Thoughts?
That's it. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
What's in the box?
What's in the fucking box?
What's in the box?
That's what I was gonna say. You guys
sir.
got influenced by Pulp Fiction with the
Yeah,
I caught that.
Hey. Yes, that was heavily influenced by Pulp Fiction
And the Penguin.
The Penguin. The last scene was influenced heavily on the Penguin show. And yeah, so that scene in the first episode where Penguin is talking to Alberto Falcone, we kind of recreated that in a sense. In a sense. So anybody, you want to give your thoughts, Ben, Eric, anybody? Just for the show? And Pulp Fiction, it didn't tell you, so you don't gotta know.
Can you turn on mic 4 for me?
But yeah, we'll get.
It was great. That was great.
You liked it, Ben?
Yeah, I loved it. That was
Oh, yeah.
awesome. I love the. You did a great job with the special effects when you got shot. I love that.
Yes, sir.
Did you guys have a what is it when you have a weapon? You have to have a weapon specialist or something on set.
No, we didn't. That's different. But this was just like a little BB gun. So me and Ryan were the ones that were able to like only touch the gun.
Okay.
We had we called it like a keys in meeting.
Yeah,
so, like,
I
we
think a
tell
safety
everybody,
protocol.
you
Yeah.
can look at it. This is a BB gun. This is a fake gun. It will only be touched and handled by me and Ryan.
Okay, because there were I
Stuff like
thought that was I remember I know being on a play setting, there always has to, if there's any weapons or anything, there has to be someone that handles.
No, yeah,
and
there is.
teach.
So, like recently on a set that me and him were on, they had a fake gun, so only the assistant director was able to grab the gun and give it to the actors and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So that now on a bigger budget, you would have like a props guy. A props guy would be the guy who'd be like, hey, this is a fake gun, you know, or a specialist, you know, like say like food when we specific guy. Prop guy would be for guns and stuff like that, you know, like things like that. Yeah, you're right. So like.
Well, it just brought me the question of, I mean, the first thing that kind of came into mind was that Alec Baldwin incident. Did you guys hear about that whole
Where he
thing?
got shot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There was a real gun or whatever. So that was just I was like, wow, that was interesting. I hadn't seen that before.
Yeah,
Yeah,
so like
for sure.
so like I know that was like an actual BB gun that we did get, but you need like a container of air to pressurize to shoot the BBs. But when we did like the keys in meeting with the whole cast and crew, of course we let everyone know beforehand that we will have a weapon on set. It's still a weapon, even though it's completely unloaded. It's still a weapon. We let everyone know that just making sure that they knew before going on set that there was going to be one on that day. And then right before we used it, we kind of just broke it all apart. We showed them, hey, this is where the air goes. There's no air in here. This is where the BB goes. There's no BBs. We shook it. We shot we pointed to the floor, shot it 5 times. Nothing came out.
Very cool.
So then everyone got comfortable, and then if anyone wants to see it, we can give it to them.
Give it to you. You can look
just
at it.
just for the
Of course.
just for their peace of mind.
Of course.
So there's like a whole safety protocol when it comes.
And
to
it was
that
the
stuff.
same thing with the other prop. So the prop that Charles was holding, that's a rubber gun. It looks real, but it's rubber. Like it's straight rubber.
Nice.
Yeah.
That
So
was
that's
a really
another one
interesting
we're gonna
fact.
show.
That was cool. Cool, guys.
Glad that you guys liked it.
Great show. Great short film.
Yeah, a couple fun. Thanks, Ben. A couple fun facts about the film is we messed up big time on the outside shots. And the white balance, we messed up with the white balance, and we did not have an ND filter. An ND filter is a little like, you can explain it better. It's like a little like.
Yeah, it's basically like a little lens attachment where you can essentially polarize the extra light coming in. That's the best way I can say it. Essentially, you are able to dim a light without having to change the camera settings.
Yeah, exactly. So we did mess up a little bit about that. There's some color. There's some like. It was a little bright on the outside shots. There were some other things where we needed to pull focus just a little bit better, but of course, you know, we didn't have an AC on set. This was just a little shorter film, so it was our DP pulling focus and our Luis, our camera op for the second camera. But yeah, there was a couple little issues. Obviously, it's our student film. You know, we get better as we go. I hope you guys enjoyed that. We're gonna end this with our usual little bit of stuff here for the end of the show.
Fun fact that most nighttime scenes are actually filmed during the daytime. We actually have experience with that on our short film Soul. You can check it out on Nutshell Films on YouTube. All the nighttime scenes inside the house, we actually put garbage bags over the window to block all the sunlight coming in.
And we learned that on a feature set. One of our first ever feature films that we were on, the DP of that blocked out light with trash bags.
Yep.
And so we use that on.
And it works so well.
And on like big budget films, they'll use like sound blankets or like just like a big flag, just to flag off the thing, or they'll do it in the sound stage. You can manipulate stuff in the sound stage. So hot take for today: a great ending can save a mediocre movie, but a bad ending ruins a great movie.
Yes.
That is so true.
Yes.
Because it could be the worst movie ever, but it has an insane ending. You're going to remember it forever. It was the same thing in marching band when we were in marching band. You know, your show could have been horrible in the first half because you guys forgot your drill or your music or whatever, but at the end of the show it was great. The judges will remember it.
Yep.
Right?
For sure. You always remember the very first and last of a show. That's what we learn in marching band.
Exactly.
Exactly. No one ever remembers what happens in the middle. It's the very first and the very end.
Exactly. So, you want to give your movie recommendation for this week?
Mine is going to be The Hunger Games.
Oh, the new movie coming out.
Specifically Catching Fire.
Okay.
But all of them. They're all great movies.
Very interesting. I'm going to give you guys this week, I will give you guys The Shape of Water. I haven't finished it, but it's a very interesting monster movie. You know, the guy that made Frankenstein from Netflix made that movie. It's very interesting.
Del Toro, nice.
Very, very interesting. So that is the end of episode 16 for today. We are back and we are strong and we are very excited to keep giving you guys more great podcasts. So you can always find us on Nutshell Film Podcast on Spotify, Apple Podcast, YouTube, TikTok, Instagram. Am I missing anything?
Amazon Podcast.
And Amazon Podcast. And you can find Ryan at
Ryan Filmworks on Instagram and TikTok. How about yourself?
And you can find me, Filmmaker Daniel on TikTok. I do movie reviews, and Filmmaker Daniel on Instagram. And as always, take care.
See you in the next one.